Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Let's start off with Carter and Paris because in the beginning, for the past 2 days, I've been sitting there thinking, what the hell are you doing, Carter? First, you invite this woman to your house, and you don't tell her that you need to break it off because if you don't, Grace is going to tattletale on you, and you're going to lose your job. You you go all out, get her favorite foods and wine and just whining and dining her. And I'm like, is this going somewhere? Like, did you forget about the immediate threat that you got hanging over your head? What is your plan? Because right now it just seems like you're kind of in la la land. And in today's episode, he tells her that he wants to go public. He doesn't want to be sneaking around like he did with Quinn because it just ended badly. He doesn't want to do that. So, Paris is like, well, what are we going public with? But then she agrees to go public, and, you talk about Zende, and then Carter is just like, yeah, we got to end things. We got to end things tonight. And I'm like, what? what am I watching? What just happened? You wined and dined this girl, and then you said, we got to talk about our future. I feel like we should go public. Mm, I don't know. Okay. And then they talk about Zende, and then this, yeah, we gotta end this. We gotta end this thing. We gotta end it tonight. What? It how? Okay. I am just I'm befuddled. I don't think that's a word. That's a word that I'm gonna sit there and use because that's the only way I can sit there and try to comprehend whatever this plan is. And then he tells her that, it's going to end badly. It's going to look like, I'm going after another Forrester, something, I feel like I'm going after the Forresters in a way with Zende. And, you could sit there and lose your job. And you're not going to be in good standing with them, which is true if they go public. And so Paris is like, well, no, Zende would just sit there and explain, everything and it'll be fine. Zende would just explain everything away and explain the situation and it'll just be fine. This woman never ceases to amaze me with just some of the stupidest, idiotic things that come out of this woman's mouth. First of all, I get that Zende is this great, amazing, and kind and understanding guy and yada yada yada. You know what people are like when they're hurt? They want to get back. They want to sit there and do things out of spite. They want to retaliate. Okay? Have you actually ever seen this guy so mad to the point where he'll just want to do something just for the sake of getting back at someone? He could practically be like, yeah, I think you should fire her. Hell, actually, tell you the truth, I think you should sit there and fire both of them. For both of them. Cars always sit there trying to, get with another, get with another man's wife or, girlfriend or whatever. And in Paris, I mean, she really hurt me. And I'm a Forester, and y'all got to do something. So I can't be with that type of pain. I think y'all should just let her go. She kind of seems a little irresponsible now. Think about it. Like you don't know how spiteful this man can be. So the fact that she was like, he'll just smooth it all over, and we'll just be fine. This woman, from what I understand, from what somebody told me, was a social worker. Let just sink in for a minute. So Charlie gets into the system, and after going through the security footage and everything like that, they at first they see Thomas, and then they see a guy that looks like Deacon coming to the house. And after that, he was like, "Oh well, I don't really see anything else." But then the next day, they see Deacon leaving, and Brooke is like, "I got." I mean, not Brooke. Steffi is like, "I got you, Brooke," and I'm like, well, "What did you get? Well, what did you get? You just said like you got her. How did you get her? Did you actually see in the recording Brooke kissing Deacon? No. Okay, so the only thing that you actually saw was Deacon coming in the house and then Deacon leaving the house. That's it. That's your that's your smoking gun right there. This is the all the proof that you need. And this is what you're gonna run. You just gonna run with that, right? That makes I just I don't understand when she said. I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard about the security footage, whatever, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, cool. They're gonna sit there and catch Deacon and Brooke in the act of kissing, and that is all the proof that they need. They don't even need Douglas. You know, Douglas could just be left out of this. You got everything right there, but you didn't actually catch them doing anything. And Brooke and Deacon can just easily spin that. And yeah, Douglas could sit there. Douglas could sit there and say, "Yeah, I saw Grandma kissing Santa," but they could just sit there and explain that away too, like, "Oh, well, he's a kid, wild imagination. Steffi and Thomas never really liked me." Oh, that should be great. That should be great. Honestly, to tell you the truth, she would have had a better chance just going to Brooke. Going to Ridge and trying to explain and telling him what Douglas saw them doing and just let the chips fall where they may. Now, it almost seems like it kind of backfired a little bit. Think about this for a minute. Steffi hates Brooke so much. I was about to call her Brooklyn. Brooke so much that she got Charlie to break in to Ridge's security system to spy on Brooke and to try to get their marriage dissolved. And Ridge already knows that, Steffi feels some sort of way about Brooke. So I can totally see this backfiring on her. Hell, when Taylor gets in there, you know, Steffi goes to this long, and it's literally like 17 minutes at this point, this long, drawn out conversation about how, it's good that you're here, this, that, and the third, and you remain here for a reason, and blah, 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 blah. And then towards the end, she says that, you know, Brooke cheated on Dad. And of course, Taylor has this 1950s reaction. What? And then, Steffi's like, but Deacon. Deacon. I was like, why did you have to repeat it twice? Deacon, like, okay, she heard it the first time. She's a world psychiatrist. She's the smartest person on the planet, according to everyone. Did you really feel the need to sit there and say it twice? I just, it felt so cartoony that, I don't know. I guess I kind of enjoyed it because I laughed more than I actually took it seriously. Deacon, just, make sure when you say it twice that she really gets the impact. Anyway, all Hope tries to do is calm down Brooke and tell her and reassure her that nothing's going to wind up happening and everything's going to be fine. And, Brooke is still sitting there on pins and needles, wondering when her secret's going to blow up in her face and lose her marriage. So Hope just wasted a good 4 or 5 minutes of her life, or 7, that she is never going to get back on trying to calm her mother down that her dirty little secret will not be exposed. Um, so that's great. And I have to tell you the truth, all Ridge and Taylor did was go down memory lane a little bit, and Taylor was asking about Brooke to Ridge, and Ridge didn't say anything because it's like, yo, listen, I'm not putting her business out on Front Street. I just want to help. It's just, it's just who I am. It's just a setting. Really? Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I felt like if she would have thought about that long enough, if you were married to Ridge and Brooke was meant to ask some questions about you, you would sit there and say that you're cool with Ridge just answering them. Like that's the problem I had with it yesterday, and it's the same problem that I have with it today. Um, Now at some point, Ridge does get home and see Brooke crying, and Ridge is like, I miss, coming home when you were happy and laughing and stuff like that. Like, how do we get to that point? And I feel like at this stage, that just tells me that Ridge is stressed out on, what's going on with Brooke. And Brooke is not there trying not to lose Ridge, but I feel like if that just continued long enough, she would wind up doing it anyway. Maybe in some sort of ways. Like, I don't know. I know Ridge seems like he's a patient person when it comes towards her, but I'm like, most men at the wild, I'm like, yo, listen, I can't keep coming to this sad ass house every damn day where you just like constantly crying. Like, we need to get you more meetings and therapy and something because this is starting to wear on me. But I get it. It's a marriage and you go through ups and downs or whatever, but I don't know. Like, just the fact that, and that's another thing. When he came home, she was crying. I was like, Hope just really just wasted her time trying to calm you down and didn't do a damn thing. So that's nice. That's nice. That's 7 minutes that she won't get back of her life. So that's awesome. I almost forgot about Grace. And honestly, to tell you the truth, Grace was doing the exact same thing yesterday that she did today. And then Sequoia came in there and was like, all right, cool. So we're going to go out on that date tonight. And, after hearing, especially after hearing Grace was like, y'all don't need to sit there and play it loose and casual anymore. Like, you need to sit there and get serious. Then he was like, yeah, sure. We're going out tonight. And then turned around and was like, don't give me that look. Pretty much, you're already giving me that look. And, Grace was like, I'm not giving you no look. And Zenny was like, it's your damn body language at this point. I don't want to sit there and push your daughter. She wants to keep things casually, and it's fine. Like it's cool. And he also tells her to kind of lay off. Like, don't be so hard on Paris. I'm the one that's in there dating other people, not her. Of course, Paris didn't sit there and bother to tell Zendaya the truth, because why not at this point? I just. And of course, when he says that, Grace is like, like she knows. She knows. But, and it's funny too, because Grace is like, well, because after Zakoya left, Grace was like, I don't understand this. I'm pretty old school. It's like, no, that's the first thing that you said that actually makes a lot of sense. You are very old school, and I mean old school to the point where you're pushy, you're overbearing, you're obnoxious. I'm just gonna keep it at those words because anything else is it's gonna be me being a dick. So I'm just not gonna go there. Um, but that does fit her to a T. She is very old school. Um, So yeah, she pushes him. She pushes Zende to pee with Paris like she's been doing for the past 4 days now. So that's make me sound like a broken record. That's awesome. I think that's about it. I'm gonna double check my notes, but before I do, um, one second. Oh, okay. So before I go, and I'm just gonna sit there and say your last name because I'm always bad with first names. Um, Lane, one of my subscribers, one of my awesome subscribers, was asking me because Days isn't going to be on until like another 2 weeks. As far as reviewing Y&R, Young and Restless. And here's the thing, I I said this in the message, whatever. But I'll just sit there and say it in general. I want to be consistent. And I really didn't like when I actually had to sit there and stop watching and reviewing Y&R. Um, I didn't want to sit there and start doing it again. And then the minute that Days came back on, I was going to be like, all right, well, why not? I'll see you when I get more time, pretty much. I know, and That's good. That's what they say. Um, so if anyone knows Brock TV, the main stuff that he does is General Hospital, but every now and then he'll sit there and do, B&B or Days or whatever. And I don't want to do that because if I get new subscribers, that just want to sit there and watch my Y&R and then I just stop again, it's not fair for them. Um, and I want to try to be more consistent just in general. I'm trying to be more consistent as far as like the times that I'm putting it out, just as well as, when I decide I want to start doing Y&R again, I want to be more consistent about it, not just, all right, it's going to be Y&R until I get too tired. Like when I actually have more time, then I'll definitely sit there and do Y&R because to be honest, I'm kind of missing Y&R. I really am. I'm missing Victor. I'm missing him calling, old Billy boy. And it's funny because I was, when I got out of work, I was going to my deli. And of course, I look up at the TV and I see Y&R. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I'm like, I remember Nicholas and I think Mariah. And I'm like, yeah, I can't remember the rest of their names. So, um, you know, so yeah, that's long story short. I just want to be consistent when I start watching Y&R again, not just watching it for a little bit and then the minute that Days of Our Lives come back on, then I stop watching Y&R. It was actually kind of fun to actually watch all four of them, but it got to a point where it's like by the time I would do my Y&R reviews, it was around like 1 o'clock. So just want to be more consistent and be more fair to the people that are watching those reviews. So yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening to my long, drawn out explanation. And thank you for watching in general. And for commenting and being supportive, I really do appreciate it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.